in the Middle East region, whether regarding main issues like the one of the Middle East peace process, or the war on terrorism, or fighting terrorism as a global threat, threatening the whole world, and what's going on, of course, in our Middle East region.
Well, that's why I want to say that he is coming to Egypt as a friend. The trends of the Russian policy against concerning the terrorism and concerning the Middle East, concerning the Palestinian issue, is almost the same. So he is coming to confirm and to reaffirm this kind of stance between the two countries. Now, the terrorism is a minority for the region and also for Russia, because Russia is having some problems in Ukraine, and they are talking about terrorism there, and around Russian borders also there is kind of terrorism. So we are fighting terrorism in Egypt, and also is prevailing in Africa
and other countries.
This point is very important. Russia is comes to confirm that confirming the point that the terrorism is all over the world, not only as the West says. This is worrying only about himself. Countries there is about security in Europe and in the United States, the West generally. But Russia is talking about the terrorism as Egypt thinks that it is all over the world, global to be faced by all.
Engineer Naguib, how do you see the Egyptian-Russian cooperation regarding the nuclear issue, and how Egypt could benefit from the Russian experience in building its own nuclear plant?
Actually, thank you for the question, because this is something I was totally involved in for a while. I've been witnessing what has been happening during the past with the nuclear power plant establishment and our trials and our contacts with the foreign entities, European, Japanese, and Chinese, as well as Russian. And obviously, it was very clear to all of us, including the Ministry of Electricity, the Egyptian Ministry of Electricity, that whoever get into it has a political agenda behind. So you find that the winner is simply trying to impose his political, let's say, agenda on the projects of such nature. So maybe he wins just to hold it for a while. He's there just to keep it on hold. So I think the Russian now, and the Chinese, but maybe Russia comes first, are the ones to really cooperate for a project of such a nature. They are willing to build it honestly at a lower possible cost, and in the same time they will be also there to give us the fuel, because you can build the power plant, the nuclear power plant, and you still need the fuel. It's not a normal fuel like you're going to have a gas or a coal. You need the fuel. Who's going to get you the fuel? You don't do it. So you need a longer-term partner with a political will to help you, and this has been witnessed in the past. And I think for the moment Egypt is very important to Russia as well. Not only Russia are important to Egypt, but Egypt is very important to Russia, and they need to take back their presence in the Middle East and North Africa by having this strong alliance with Egypt. Since
I'll take it from here. Regarding the mutual respect and the new era Egypt is starting, especially on the foreign policies or the foreign relations. As Engineer Naguib kindly mentioned, Egypt is innate to Russia and Russia is innate to Egypt.
Yes, true.
Let me take you to this in specific about a very important issue, which is our weaponry. To diversify our sources of weaponry, of armament to our army, to the armed forces. And to what extent this this would trigger some, at least, not disputes or clashes, let's say some, or a little bit to worsen relations between Egypt and other countries who wanted just to be the only source of our elections. How do you see this, sir, and how do you see the future of this?
You know, the way of thinking of President Sisi is different. You know, and this is the right way of diplomacy. He has to know he is making channels for the matter of labels especially. Not only with the United States, not only with France, not only with some other countries, but China, Russia, and why? Because it has to be married.
Yes.
It's not contradictory.
You have balance.
Yes. And depending on one source, this is very dangerous. So I think this is the way of the new diplomacy, not only for Libyans, Egyptians, but also for other diplomacy and political issues. Egypt now is talking and working with all this, and you notice, for example, that he thanked President Holland. Why? Because really they are giving us some weapons that we need. We need some weapons in our fighting against terrorism, and also for the Egyptian army. Again, I say the army, the Egyptian army is very important and very first mobility. A state without army, there is no state.
Sure.
And we can notice what is going around us. So then, this is very important. And already we give them money, and we got some weapons that we need. This is not to everybody. This is announced. Because, you know, to build your army, to make your army, and you have to be proud of our army and support it. And Russia is keen to support the Egyptian army.
Indeed. On a very quick note, Engineer Naguib, how do you read the importance of establishing a free trade zone between Egypt and Russia?
Of course, the free trade zone will help a lot with the business transactions, but maybe this will be more or less into commodities, and commodities between Russia and Egypt may be not so active at the moment. We are looking more into strategic partnerships, heavy industry, steel manufacturing, power and generation, transportation. So I think it will help, but on the long term. For the moment, we need really to work on strategic projects, big projects, where both
What about the share of the private sector in this, sir?
It will come, definitely it will come. I'm personally trying, but we need to look more into introducing each other. I mean, the business delegations who comes from Russia needs to be more advertised by the Russian embassy, by the Russian propaganda. Yes, the Egyptians need to realize also that our relation with Russia is not only based on tourism. We can explore other things, especially by the time that Europe has cut a lot of supplies to Russia, like vegetables, like milk products, a lot of things. So why don't we take somehow the place? But we need to work on qualifying our products. We cannot work on exportation without being qualified internationally. And this is something we need as Egyptians to work on.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed, Ambassador Ibrahim El Shwimy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, and Engineer Ahmed Naguib, the Commercial Advisor, thank you very much for being with us in the breakfast show and for your precious input.
Thank you.
All along with you, but with a promise to see you again in other episodes of the breakfast show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you. This week come to the end of this very special episode of the breakfast show. We meet again same time on Nile TV International. On behalf of my dear colleague Mahis Rabia, myself Namina Abdurrahman, many thanks for watching. Tomorrow is another day with another crew, sleeping only on Nile TV International.